Hello and welcome to the Every Other Saturday podcast for a brand new episode this week where Rangers have started to kind of make the fans smile a wee bit. It's been a definite upturn in the performance and the results since obviously last Sunday was a bit poor. We obviously get over the line. Nice was obviously a brilliant night. Um, and then we had obviously Kelly where we were free flowing, scoring goals, looking really good. There was obviously a shift in the formation and the team selection as well, which was much needed. And then obviously Ross County, notoriously a really hard place for us to go at the best of times. Going up there and winning so comfortably was always welcomed as well. So, aye, couple of really good wins this week, building some momentum going into a massive week for the club now. This will really see where we are at this point of the season. We're playing obviously a massive game at Ibrox, Spurs in turmoil at the moment. A lot of injuries to deal with, so there's the hope there at least, especially how we're going into the game and how we've been playing in the Europa League is always a positive sign as well. And then obviously the big game, which I think if we go and win, then a lot of fans' belief might start to shift a wee bit because Clement has not been able to beat Celtic yet as Rangers manager. If he does it and delivers a trophy, then um, aye, he's got a little bit of credit in his bank after that. Then so, aye, plenty to talk about. If you do enjoy the podcast, as always, if you could like, subscribe, and share. And aye, firstly, we'll start briefly just on the Kilmarnock game, and obviously this was on Wednesday, but aye, exactly what we were after. Team selection was really nice as well. Hadji in for the off, Diomandi obviously back in for the start, Cherny obviously continuing on the right, Tavernier back in the squad and scoring, which is nice. Hamza and Danilo both getting goals, and aye, just an all-round really good performance. To be honest, I think they had one shot. Aye, Kelly had one shot in the full game, so it kind of shows you how dominant we were. But I think for Kelly fans as well, how poor have they been this season? I mean, coming to Ibrox, they would be a team I think would always put up a fight against us. But for whatever's happened this season, Kelly don't seem like the team like they were. Last season anyway, they seemed really easy to play against. I think they've conceded the most goals in the league, which wouldn't be surprising considering we scored six against them. And just a really positive night all round. Seeing Danilo starting again and scoring. Hamza Egerman's goal was really really nice as well for the outside of the box. Just Hadji and Yefty providing assists. It's really positive going into obviously what was the game yesterday.
Oh, it's tremendously positive. First, as I say, first game where you're actually seeing the team actually play well for the majority of it. Some lovely goals, even the Tavernier chip 'em in. But I mate, you go into this. Obviously, the next game we're going to touch on, and the manager will get on it. But I mean, I don't know why he opened his mouth. But I hear you were in a good mood. You were enjoying it, and it was sensational football. It was nice
Yep.
to see once this season. And as I say, Kilmarnock, it's concerning for them. Did they know how they were? But Europe was start of the season as
Nah,
well.
so
Trying
they played in
that is a
Europe. They were drawn against Copenhagen and stuff. I mean,
so I mean difficult ties for them as well, and obviously the financial gain as well for them getting into that kind of competition stuff. So it's concerning definitely for them and Derek.
nah, no, definitely. I didn't expect it to be so easy, but I think the right changes were made for the start here. I think Bayrami hasn't been great out on the left hand side. I think it was time for him to maybe take a spell out the side, and Egermans came in and playing with that threat up front is just it makes it totally different. Danilo just makes us a better team as well when he plays. And aye, long kind of may this continue if we can keep going in this form. I know it's a bit annoying where we have a couple of league games then we play in Europe and you can't play Hadji and Danilo because they're not on the squad. It gets a bit frustrating, but um,
No,
obviously
no for
then
me. No for me. Listen, Hadji and Danilo, they keep turning up in the league. That's the main. That's the most important thing. Obviously, it would be good to have them on the Thursday, and we'll talk about it. But for me, I like just not having them in there now, especially two players they've had their injuries. I think it's doing them a world of good, as I say, just to focus on the league.
nah, no, you could be definitely right with that, and it gives us a lot of rotation options ahead of Sunday as well after Europe. So, aye, really dominant game, great performance, and then yesterday as well, another one of those really good performances away from home. Second half obviously tailed off a wee bit until we get the third goal, which again was a stunner to be fair for Tavernier. So if he can keep getting better this season, I think we've seen Tavernier really play really negatively, and you can tell by his mood the way he's been playing hasn't obviously kind of been good on him, and the fact that he's now providing goals again takes that wee bit of pressure off his back to provide anything else for the team. So if he's getting goals, then that's totally fine. But I think just starting the game off really positively as well. We egg a man with one of the goals of the season probably. Just first time hit, looped into the top corner of the goal, which was also a nice way to start. My namesake there didn't really have a good time in goals. Daniel pinching the ball off of him, slotting in for the second one. And you've got your two strikers scoring goals when they're starting, and that's always welcomed here at Rangers. I mean, we've been needing it for ages. Danilo was a guy I felt really sorry for a long time because his injury issues haven't been because we've signed him and he's injury prone or we've spent all this money and he's can't even deliver. Like, he had two really bad injuries when he was playing. Obviously broke his bone in his head or his eye socket when he scored the goal, and then obviously twisted his knee away at Hearts. So these type injuries are always going to be tough. But the fact that he's now coming back and playing and scoring is always a positive sign.
It's a massive, mate, and that's why I'm saying I'm happy he's not really. Obviously, at the time we were raging, he wasn't in the squad and that, but I'm happy he's not in the European squad at all. Gives him more time to prepare for the more important game personally. And just as you say, getting the goals in, which is most important. Obviously, his dad was loving it yesterday, in the crowd. But no, I'm happy for him, and as I say, for Hadji, it's just refreshing to see a guy in the team that you can tell wants to play for the club. He's desperate the way he's carried himself with everything that was going on with him. I think it's just been fantastic to see. Shows his character. And as I say, the team are they look like they're starting to click. They actually want to play with each other instead of just looking like a group of individuals out there. As you say, Tavernier getting involved as well. I think a wee bit on the bench done him a bit of good there, taking him out. And obviously yesterday you were in the net, mate, and you didn't do too good, did you?
No, I know, a bit of a howler, as I say. But going into half time, obviously 2-0 up is good. We've struggled to do this away from home. We've not scored many goals, as obvious. We scored one last week, obviously, away to St Johnstone. We were kind of not hanging on by the end, but you would like to be a bit more comfortable. And yesterday is exactly how we should be treating games away from home. We had a lot of chances in the game. Again, maybe sometimes where Cherny could have took the ball on a bit. He could have released it a bit quicker than try to take the extra couple of touches. We could have been out of sight in the first half, really. But I think scoring two in the first half was really positive, and then obviously rounding it up with the third with Tavernier was nice and exactly the way we should be treating league games. We're better than all these teams, and we should be beating them pretty comfortably. So
Well, we'll get on it obviously, but no, just going back to the game as I say, Balogun yet again for me proving he is probably the best partner for John Souttar. I really proper for me shouldn't be involved at all. But as I say, in our first half yesterday, I thought we were fantastic. Second half, it dipped off a wee bit, but as I say, we're consistent, still going for it. And obviously, Tavernier finished after a lovely goal. But as I say, it's just happy. It's just good to see the team playing well, doing well. And as I say, the manager had to open his mouth after the end of the game, and it sort of brought you back down to earth a wee bit. And you think to yourself, this guy is a proper Wally.
nah,
I mean,
he
you
should
get on it.
just be quiet sometimes and just say as little
But,
words as he can, because when he ends up speaking and going on these tangents about finances and stuff, it just gets a bit boring, to be honest, considering the club well. So we'll talk about that after we go over the team. Standard team, I think. Butland obviously had that kind of error in the first half where he nearly slipped on the ball and let the Ross County man in, but covered himself really well. A couple of decent grabs for crosses into the box for Ross County and that. So fine. Tavernier again, probably definitely an upturn in performance for Tavernier. He's providing goals now, as we say, which is good. I think that's your two best centre halves as well. There, Balogun is a guy that I've never ever been able to say anything bad about. Anytime he comes into the squad and his attitude and just the way he keeps himself physically ready for when he's called on is it's admirable, to be honest, for a professional footballer. So yeah, he had a really good game. John Souttar again. I think he's just went on leaps and bounds in the last couple of months. To be honest with you, being our kind of main centre halves, it's put a lot of onus on him, but he's kind of came out pretty well. Yefty again, another assist yesterday. He's starting to add that to his game, which we all thought he would and hoped he would. And he's just a massive asset down that left hand side. He's been, for me, one of the most underrated players of the whole season. For us, obviously, it's not been plain sailing. It's not been positive, but he's been one kind of shining light through everything. That he's really stuck out to me every time we play. So, Yefty, really good again. Raskin again, brilliant in the middle of the pitch. I think since he's came back into the squad, we've seen this team go up a level as well. Barron, maybe a bit of a quieter game. He has to do what he has to do though in these games. He's not going to get forward, but he's going to recycle the ball well and get you moving.
Nah, I don't really mind Barron being quiet. Listen, you're going to have the kind of games. Obviously, he's been immense so far. But as I say, I just thought all round the whole team were brilliant. As I say yet again, just watching for me, Giannis, as I say, just the passion. As I say, you can tell he wants to play for the club. And as I say, all round first half was a proper performance. I say second half, I felt it dipped half a wee bit, but we're still in it, still going for it. As I say, just to have Danilo getting the goals, getting his confidence back. We need obviously that for Sunday coming up here as well. Cherny as well, as you say, could have some of the decision making could have been better. But my boy Hamzat, man, that's stealing the heart, Jack. He's stealing the heart.
So we've needed it for a while though. We need somebody to kind of look forward to watching, and I think we were excited when we signed this guy, and then it took months to even see him in the Rangers shirt, and then he burst in the scene. He had a good couple of showings. He eventually got his first goal against Stoya Bucharest at home. Obviously, that won away at Nice as well, 2 goals that night. And he's kind of just kicked on for there. Another goal, obviously, the other night against Kelly, and then one here as well. So he looks to be the kind of real deal so far. For what we've seen, it's really promising, encouraging signs this early on. And as long that may continue, because he's got 2 massive games coming up ahead of him now, and we need him to kind of step up and stand up and be that guy that's going to fire us on to victory in both. So, really pleased with how he's settling into Rangers and really enjoying everything about his game. He's tailor made, I think, for Scottish football at the moment with his size and his presence, and obviously he's got that bit of skill as well. So, really positive game until it got obviously till the to the end, Clement, I mean, no Rangers manager should really be going out and saying this about anybody. At the end of the day, we are Rangers. We're a massive football club. It doesn't really matter if Spurs have more money as or not. We can go out there and we can compete with them, especially at Ibrox. That doesn't galvanise the support of the team for me whatsoever.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I mean, I've been a bit all over the place this episode, but I'm sorry. This is the main thing for me that I'm want to talk about. But I just don't understand why he thinks he can say this kind of stuff. As I say, he clearly doesn't get it. Clearly doesn't understand how big our football club is. I mean, you can go on about finances, whatever you. I still expect Rangers to go out there on Thursday night. I would say give Spurs a game. I watched Spurs last night against obviously Chelsea. It was a great game of football, whatever you. But you just look at them and you think there, if you get a chance now, I would say it's right now. Obviously, Andrew's under pressure. I mean, it'd be tremendous. The Dubs, if we were the team that obviously get the victory and he gets sacked after that, I mean, it'd be tremendous.
No, well, that's the thing. Like, we've competed in Europe against teams that are financially out of our league, according to Clement.
All the time. All the time.
So,
But this is how are the he says that kind of stuff and his fans, we're like, what is it? How are the players going to have confidence in that? I just go back to the Lyon game and I think he Jack Butland instantly, and I just feel that did the players even rate this guy? Did they even, do you know what I mean, listen to him at all? Do you know what I mean? I just
well, that's the thing. Like, the players can only go out there and do their jobs at the end of the day. If they're set up in a way that we are going to compete with Spurs and Celtic, hopefully they do the business because, sorry, Clement is not getting the message here. To be honest with you, this is not the first time he said this. He's kept on rambling on about it, and to me, all he's trying to do is cover his own arse if we get pumped in both games. If we get pumped in both games, he's come out and he said this.
that's
That's what it is.
like I think no Rangers manager says that or has that mindset for me. Like you're going out there, you'll till the final whistle, you'll give everything you've got to get the victory. This manager's just admitted defeat before the game. Do you know what I mean? It's like you play FIFA and you already know the guys that you're playing's better than you. So, you know, what's the point in trying? It's I just for me, nah man. Just a weak mindset.
That's the
Yeah, and
thing, though. Like, you're happy with his selections and stuff, and he comes out and says this, and you're like, what do you even believe anymore?
I don't know, man. As I say, you think about when he first came in, you thought, right, maybe this guy's got the kind of mindset of managers and that, and then he's just as I say, he's a here in the job, and this is his mindset still here, really. I mean, come on. And for as I say, Obviously, Spurs game, we were expecting obviously a competitive game. Spurs are still a good team, but the way that they are right now, I just feel like that's a real chance to get something
No, it
massive.
definitely is because Spurs's mentality is quite similar, I would say, in the way that Clement thinks. I think Spurs's mentality is just really weak as well. If you've seen them, obviously yesterday they collapsed against Chelsea. They were in a good position. They start really fast, which is something we'll need to watch out for. But they've got many injuries in their team. They're not playing well. Hopefully we can deal with how they're obviously going to have some world class players starting in the game. That's a given. They're playing in the Premier League. They're dominating against Chelsea for parts of the game. They're beating Man City. It's going to be a tough game, but that shouldn't stand in the way. You're at Ibrox. You're doing already really
Still,
well in the Europa League. So
how many great players have come to Ibrox? As I say, you could say your Bellinghams that have come to Ibrox and that, and the pressure. Do you know what I mean? Just that crowd gets on top of them. I don't know. As I say, manager clearly doesn't get it, doesn't understand that. I don't know why are you going on about finances, mate? Nobody's talking about finances. Do you know
just
what I mean?
keep it short and simple. Just say we're looking forward to giving Everton in these two games.
That's a
That's all you need to
massive
say.
game. That's it. And as I say, it's a good chance, obviously. Say playing Spurs. Sunday's a game for me. Yeah, you know what I mean. You're just all over the place. You know what the thing is. I say, Suter. This is the real game where I'll properly judge John Suter for me. Really is a Sunday. I mean, the last time we played them, collapsed a bit.
I think
So,
that's the big thing for the whole team now. We might have went
well, I
on
know
won a couple of
100%. I
games.
mean,
We've played
that's
well, but it's time for you to deliver in the big games now.
I'm a bit hesitant, as I say. Obviously, fair play to Tavernier. He's got goals in the last couple of games and that. But I just know what I'll get on Sunday. Still, I still know what I'll get.
Oh, aye, we'll get on to Sunday when we get on to it, but aye, Spurs obviously to deal with first, which again it feels a bit in the way. What's going to be Sunday? It feels obviously Thursday, Sunday's really hard to do, and we've shown that this season. So you hope it doesn't really affect us too heavily. But this is one of the games when the draw was made that I was really looking forward to. I think when we play any English team, you're looking forward to it, especially at Ibrox as well. It's going to be a good spectacle. It'll be a
Wow.
good crowd. Obviously the momentum that the team have built in the last couple of games will hopefully shine through. We'll hopefully be able to put on a good performance. And as you say, Spurs aren't unbeatable. They've been beat off Bournemouth and whatever. Do we think we could go and compete with Bournemouth? Obviously, Bournemouth
I
are a
get
really good
you.
side, but really,
No, I know what you're saying.
realistically,
I get what you're saying, but I just, for me, when obviously when these draws and that get made, you just, for me, I had obviously flashbacks to Liverpool, absolutely disastrous. But if you're playing like Liverpool, I think you would also be shitting yourself. Spurs, I think you get a chance to. I don't think they have. Son's about the only guy I really look at their team and I think, right, maybe the left back as well. I think he's decent as well. Madison, obviously, but I don't think they have anybody really that's like, as you obviously you said world class, but I just think they're a decent
no,
team.
they're a decent team. They play a good
I
brand
just
of football,
I know
but
these. All I know is I say managers like the pressure. Managers obviously being up here. He's obviously going to be motivated to try and beat us. But as I say, I just feel like it's a great time to play them right now. They're injuries everywhere for them, which obviously benefits us. Obviously, their two main centre halves in it are both out, so
yep.
so Archie Gray will be playing there. And honestly, I hope my boy Hamzat does that wee rat. Isn't proper. But no, as I say, I just think it's a game we can compete in. I'm the same with you here. I just feel like it's in the way. I would much rather be Everton for Sunday because we know how difficult that's going to be. But if we, as I say, the crowd will be there. I just can't believe the manager said that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? You should
Yeah.
be relishing these games. You should be relishing to take these teams on and prove yourself right.
That's the thing. It's a massive week for just Everton to do with the club now. It's like the exposure you'll get for this game, and then obviously the Sunday you've got the chance to beat your biggest rivals and win a trophy. I don't care how good Celtic are and how well they've been playing. They're still there to be beat. So why not show up and try and show ourselves that we can actually do it, rather than fucking throw in the towel every 5 minutes. So that's going to be a tough game. This one, as you say, it's kind of in the way. That'll be kind of the Spurs team that you're looking at. Obviously, injuries
Yeah,
of
again, yeah, again, sorry, mate, you hang me there. I don't look at that team and think that's world class. I look at that team and I think, right, that's a beatable team. I think of some of the teams we played on the run to obviously the final, but they were a lot more. This is to me is a team that we should be relishing to take these lot on.
no, I know, especially with the way they've had injuries and stuff. I mean, Dragoson's been absolute pish for Spurs so far. Archie Gray, I was convinced was a midfielder, so him playing at centre half
Do
should
you know what it
be.
is? As I say, obviously, I keep an eye on Leeds, family ties and that. But honestly, see when he obviously joined Spurs and he opened his mouth, obviously, about being an Ange fan, Celtic man, and that, I'm just like, I fuck off now. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I don't, as I say, I keep going on, obviously. I just look at that team and I think it's beatable. I think Son's about the only decent player in that team.
I think Son Kulusevski's had a really good season as well. Solanke's always a threat, but as you say, I don't see anything that makes me terrified. For example, I think it's a team
I
that we can
just,
compete with. Obviously, Pedro Porro and Udogie will be really difficult to deal with over on the wings, but I think as a team and at home, we get that extra yard. Again, and it's against Spurs, against Ange. Like the situation plays around
you should
itself.
be buzzing for this game. This is what I'm on about. You should be buzzing. And the manager just comes out and you're like, all right, mate, thanks for telling us we're still shite. Thanks, mate.
Aye, pretty much. Pretty
We've
much
got
what
no
just
chance.
happened.
We've got no chance in this game. But as I say, you've got that Doug Fraser Foster on the goal as well. So, you know what I
No,
mean?
I'll be
It's
going to Ibrox. I'll be optimistic about maybe getting something out of the game, to be honest with you. I think the way 10 points in the Europa League at the moment, we're above Spurs in the league table. We're in the top 10. You would think another victory, maybe a point here or there, sees us through. I think staying in that top 10 would be huge. I think getting a victory against Spurs would all but kind of guarantee we stay up there.
and
So there's got to be that incentive as well.
Ange gets sacked. It's
In the
tremendous.
tunnel. It could be a nice turn of events. We'll
Right.
see what happens. I think the team's obviously going to be a bit different, as we say. I would kind of go with something along the lines of this. Obviously, Tavernier, I think will play. Balogun and Suter, I think will be the two centre halves. Yefty will play. I think I'd prefer Diomande in next to Raskin. I wouldn't be surprised if he went with Barron though. I think Dessers is going to start up front. I think Hamza is best off the left hand side as well at the moment. Cherny will play. I want to see Bayrami in the middle of the pitch. Obviously, without Hadji in these games, so I'm a bit iffy on Barron or Diomande, but
I'll
it's
just
probably what I'd go with.
um I'd still put Barron in there for me personally, mate. I'm still no keen on Diomande. I don't still personally don't really rate him. Uh, I just you brought me back down to earth and all there, mate. I'm getting myself up for this game and then you've put Dessers up top there.
Nah, don't worry.
Um,
Tom Lawrence will be back for injury soon as well.
no, that's what I was about to say. I was about to say, listen, Hamza will play up top and then Bajrami out on the left and then Lawrence in the middle. Honestly, you could see it. As I say, I'm hoping for a positive outcome here. I'm just, I don't understand how, you, as a manager, you're getting your players up for this game. You're not up for it yourself. The challenge
No, no.
to prove yourself. Obviously, we've had our questions over Clement and stuff. If you were Clement, you'd be like, no, listen, these are the games I'm going to prove to you is that I'm the man to take you forward. I just don't understand. Just tells you his mindset. And
That's what I'm saying. His mindset is literally cover my own arse so I don't get so we don't get embarrassed basically, and I've got something to go back on. That's all it is to me.
that is
And we've seen
fair
it
enough.
before in some games, but I think there's nothing to lose here. We go out and we play at home against a team that we're not really ever um, like been bet to beat. Really, it's all the guns are for Spurs, so
That's
we'll
it.
see what happens.
Everybody thinks Spurs are going to come up here, win 4 or 5 or whatever. Easy job for them. They might do. You never know. They might do. But as I say, to just not have the mindset to be like, I'm going to compete with them, and we're actually going to. It just tells me everything about the manager, as I say. But I'm hoping for a surprise result. I'm hoping for another great night at Ibrox. Hopefully something to build on for going into the most
It'd be a
important game.
huge momentum builder going into Sunday. If you had
Oh,
to go and beat Spurs, I mean, obviously the Thursday Sunday schedule is tough, but you had to go and beat Spurs. Just imagine the adrenaline lift that everybody would get around the club going into Sunday. Obviously, Celtic's a different challenge. We are absolutely feared Celtic. Like that's no question. We are more interested in being up for Spurs. Really, we're not scared of Spurs, but we're absolutely shit feared Celtic, and that's not something I want to come on here and say. It's not something anybody else wants to believe, but it's the truth, and we have been like that for too long. So going into what's the biggest game in the season so far, it's Clement's biggest game as Rangers manager so far. What do you even say around this? Celtic have not lost a game all season, obviously domestically. So
they've just. Well, obviously we know the league's done. And they're half. I mean, but they play tomorrow night, don't they, for Champions League in it? So
so they're away to
basic
Zagreb, I think.
preparation in it. So I mean, they've been fantastic. You can't take that away from them. absolutely been flying. I just, as I say, it's down to our players and the mindset again. And as I say, that's the manager's mindset. So kind of concerned what the players are. There's no question over us, obviously, as fans. We'll be there, we'll be up for it. It's a one-off game. It's a cup final. I don't know, man. I'm just, as you say, you're bricking it, mate. You're absolutely bricking it. Because for
No.
me, I said to you, this is a point. Obviously, this is a game for me where after it, I would let him go. Obviously, we know Patrick Stewart's coming in after this game. Going to be bringing Hugh Jackman and the boys with him. So where that goes, but
No, but that's one of the biggest things as well. This is a massive game for Philippe Clement. Any Rangers manager, I don't care what you've done at the club, if you can't beat Celtic in 5 games, you're away, mate. Like you're gone. I don't care what sort of money you're on. If you can't compete with Celtic, the biggest rivals that we've got, realistically, the only team that's ever going to put up a challenge to Celtic is us. And we can't even do that at the moment. Then the manager has to be removed, and the mentality has to be completely shifted. We've said it for long enough now. The collapse at Celtic Park earlier on in the season, what was it, 3-0 it ended up? 2-0? Can't even remember. But we were Maeda, same thing happens all the time, just sneaks in the box, scores. We miss chances, we're not able to get back into the game. They go 2-0 up, and then we can't ever find our way back into the game. The problem is Celtic aren't unbeatable. That's what I think everybody at Rangers thinks. They're like, oh, they're Celtic, they've won all these games, they're top of the league. Rightfully so, they're a good team, but they're there to be got at, and we've seen them being got at in Europe against Club Brugge. And again, you maybe take that back. If we face Club Brugge, would be fancier chances probably. But when it comes to Celtic, we just cannot ever get that mentality that we once had under Gerrard. Like, there was times we would go into these games and we would be confident we would never lose them. We went on a long run of not winning the games, and then you think back now, the last meaningful Old Firm game we won was under Van Bronckhorst, and it was at Hampden in the semi-final. Half that, no, not even half the team, all that team is now left, and we've not been able to beat Celtic since. Obviously, the Beale one was end of the season, whatever. But the
I
whole
but
attitude towards Old Firm games and against Celtic, and the way we go into these games, and even the fans now don't expect anything, is really, really poor for what we are.
I just, I mean, you set the spot on there, mate. You think about who's the only two left for that game? What, Balogun and Taff?
And then obviously Hadji was there, but
I
no, obviously
was,
playing at the time. So you've got a couple
I
of players
mean,
that are still there, but
as I say, you just see the man on the screen there, my head. Mate, he must buzz. He knows. Oh, listen, it's Tavernier again. I'm getting in. I'm getting a couple of goals.
but then that
I,
that's something for me. We'll start with the Rangers team. We cannot
I,
start Tavernier in this game.
I,
I don't care if Tavernier's been scoring goals, he's been doing whatever. If Dujon Stelling's had fucking surgery in his eye socket, we need to be playing Dujon Stelling in this game. Tavernier is going to get roasted. And if Tavernier is playing this game against Maeda, it plays into Celtic's hands like it does every single time. And it's one-way traffic at that point. Tavernier can't get up the pitch like he used to. He can't go back and forth. Maeda's got him on toast every time. So it has to be Dujon Stelling that plays for me. Even though Tavernier's been playing, it has to be him. I think obviously there's big calls to be made as well. Hadji has to start. It's as simple as that. He has to play. Hamza Eggman off the left hand side again. Danilo up front has to be the way we go. Obviously, I had some thoughts in my mind that maybe he might start Yilmaz and might put Yefty at left mid and might try and double up on the kind of defensive side of the game, which again I wouldn't be too concerned about. Yefty's got a really hard task against Nicholas Kuhn. He's obviously been really good for Celtic this season, so it's a hard task for him. Balogun and Suter need to be switched on against Kyogo. Barron and Raskin need to be solid in the middle of the pitch. Celtic like to roam a lot in the middle of the field, and they create space really well, and McGregor just kind of sits and pings passes. You need to get somebody close to Cal McGregor and close him down. I can't believe we're still saying these same things that we say every single time that never ever seem to be picked up on by anybody in the management team or the people that can affect these games. I mean, if you look at the Celtic team, it's a bit of a rough estimate for me. They could go either way. Alistair Johnson obviously starts. Michael Carter-Vickers, Trusty's been kind of their new guy that they're starting a lot. Greg Taylor, again, been really poor this season for Celtic. I wouldn't be surprised if they had to start Alex Valle, but I don't know if they would throw him into a cup final. Obviously, Engels, the man they've paid £11 million for, he'll play. McGregor, as we say, he'll sit in and make it difficult for us. They can either go Hatate, Bernardo, McCowan, take your pick. They've got options there. And Nicholas Kuhn, Daisen Maeda, and Furuhashi will play up front. So they've got a team that changes maybe what they change the centre half, the left back, and the centre mid. Nothing else changes in that team. That's why they're so hard to play against.
That's it, mate. You said it in a nutshell. I mean, I don't know, mate. I'm still, maybe I'm thinking about the team. Do you know what I mean? You're just like, oh, I don't know what to do here. But I can you just go out there, give everything you've got. As I say, cup final. So one so I think, as I say, it's positive that Hadji and Danilo for me aren't involved on Thursday. Gives them a chance really to focus
Nah,
on
they've
this
got a
game.
full week to train
You
now.
know what it is as well? It wouldn't shock me with this manager if he starts Dessers. It wouldn't shock, and if Lawrence is coming back into the fold, wouldn't shock me if he brings the two of them into the
But
team.
look at that. That's me scanning my ticket, walking in, seeing the team, and leaving immediately. That's what
That's
that'll
it.
do.
And I, honestly, that is the team you have for me. That's the team you have to play. That is the perfect team for me. But I just know this manager will play Tav, and we know Tav will be absolutely, as you say, roasted, toasted.
That could actually see like Tav get his probably worst abuse ever if he plays. We know he can't handle it. Just
And
take him out the firing line. It's no good for him either. Like when I'm actually thinking about Tavernier, the fucking person,
it's
him getting
not.
absolutely cooked
I
every
know.
game
That's
of
why
him.
I feel so, as I say, I feel so bad because you're like, I feel bad, man. This guy's just, you know what I mean, trying his best. But as I say, for me, wouldn't shock me if Lawrence is back and he's ready. He would put Lawrence in there and Dessers in there. I mean, for yourself, obviously, I'm the same as you, Danilo up top. But come on, you know what this manager's like. This is the kind of game where he would go, nah, fuck all.
You
I'm
look at what
playing.
he done on Wednesday. He started positively with the team that we all wanted. We scored 6 goals and then he changed it and played two CDMs away to Ross County. He tries to be too
For
pragmatic and too risky. He's not. He doesn't really take any risks. Sorry, he just kind of places people in where he thinks it'll work. And I think this is the only team that's going to see you compete with Celtic. To be honest with you, I think we need to have Sterling in there. We need to have a Raskin and Barron partnership's been working really well. Hadji wears his heart on his sleeve. He'll give everything to
he will,
to be a winner
honestly.
in this game, and we need somebody with that mindset. Balogun, obviously, he's got that partnership with Suter. Butland, of course, we obviously didn't mention that. Great save yesterday at 1-0 for Ross County, and then Danilo and Hamza have been scoring goals alongside Cherny, who will make it difficult for Greg Taylor. So that's the
But
big
what
thing I keep on saying. We have good players in this team. We have a structure that could work. It's just up to the manager to keep continuing to do that.
I say, but just watch. We'll be in it. We'll be competing and stuff like that. Manager will bring Hadji off. He'll go, no, do you know what? Go and get Kieran Dow. Go and bring Kieran. That's when you're like, nah. You know what I mean?
I don't even want to think about that now,
Oh, I know, but
honestly.
I know what this weak link is like. As I say, these are the big games. These are the games where he obviously knows he's going to get judged. And as you said, he's already said, I'm not good enough, basically. Um, we already know that's fans, but I just say, how can you not be up for these two games? Massive chance to add silverware, try and stop Celtic, who have been unbelievable so far. Chance, as I say, with Spurs in Europa League, chance to basically beat Spurs, you're already through, you're there. And the manager's like, nah, I'm not a guy for it, sorry, boys.
That's it. That's it. If the manager had the fans' mindset and mentality, would be all right, I think.
Ah.
But the way he talks in the media is unfortunate. But it's a big week to come up now. You're expecting maybe some guys to come back into the fold as well, as you said. Tom Lawrence, Matondo. Again, I think Matondo could be really key off the bench in a game like Sunday, even if we have obviously got
Oh,
our
he'll just, as I say,
disclaimers about him. Oscar Cortez as well coming back in as well. So we've got players coming back in. We've hopefully got a full strength team to go with these two games, and they're two of the biggest games of the season. And hopefully we can come out of them with some positivity and a positive result. As I say, Sunday would do enormous things for the support and the
oh,
mood around the club. It just feels like it's that far away if you're getting that positive result against Celtic that even at the moment it
it's
feels unlikely. So um,
it's one defeat away for fans on the park. I'm being honest. I know people can laugh at that, and what have you, but I'm telling you, I feel it. One like defeat like that, I can
you
just
just need to
see.
give everyone. You just literally need to give everyone for the shot. That's all we ask.
We'll give
Any
a man.
given game. So aye, we'll be back. We'll be back next week covering that Celtic game, and then obviously looking ahead to the next week's games as well. It's kind of getting really busy with the football ahead of the Christmas period. So aye, if you do enjoy the podcast, if you like, subscribe, and share, and aye, share your thoughts in the comments about the two games coming up. We'll see you next week.